4 of the AI Fellowship podcast series.
Great to be back.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into, well, a whole lot of activity from the AI Fellowship community.
Yeah, it's been busy.
We've got quite a bit to cover, looking at recent chats across, I think, 3 main areas.
That's right. We've got AI tools and techniques, community growth and collaboration, and then some broader perspectives on the whole AI scene.
Okay, lots to get through. Let's jump right in. Where should we start? Maybe tools.
Sounds good. Tools are always practical. And there was definitely buzz around OCR.
Ah, yes. Someone was asking about good optical character recognition tools.
Exactly. And DocLink came up. It's a free one. People like its accuracy. Supports lots of formats.
But the downside?
It can be slow.
Yeah.
Especially, if you're feeding it really large documents. That's kind of the trade-off with free sometimes.
Right. Makes sense. Did anyone have tips for that?
Yeah, a couple of good ones, like breaking up those big documents into smaller chunks first.
Simple enough.
And someone floated the idea that a beefy GPU, like a 4090, might speed things up, though that's obviously a hardware investment.
Sure. Were there other recommendations beyond DocLink?
Yeah. Mistral OCR was mentioned. That one's paid something like $1 per 1,000 pages, but it also has an on-premise option, which is important for some.
Okay, so flexibility there.
And Llama Parse came up too as another alternative if you're not looking specifically for a free tool like DocLink.
So it sparked that whole conversation around free versus paid, and also handling sensitive stuff, right? Like internal documents or copyrighted material.
Exactly. That's always a big consideration. What works for one person's public domain PDFs might not be suitable for confidential company reports. Budget, volume, speed, security, lots to weigh up.
Definitely. Okay, moving on from just getting text out, what about analyzing it? NotebookLM seemed popular.
Yeah, quite a bit of positive chatter about NotebookLM and using it with Gemini 2.5 Pro for document analysis.
What was the main appeal?
Well, one person actually found it more effective and faster than other LLMs for summarizing documents and pulling out key info.
Faster. That's interesting.
It is. Maybe it's just really well-tuned for that specific task, Sometimes a specialized tool beats a generalist one. It's a good reminder.
True. And didn't someone mention a mobile app is coming?
Yep, that's apparently in the works. Could be handy.
Okay, then the conversation shifted a bit, moving towards more advanced AI stuff.
Right.
Agents.
Right, AI agents and autonomous tasks. There was discussion about the difference between your standard LLM, which kind of needs input for every step.
You have to keep prompting it.
Exactly. Versus these super agents. Manus was mentioned as an example that are designed to handle complex multi-step tasks on their own.
Some more hands-off.
Potentially, yeah. It led to thinking about, well, maybe you could get similar results from an LLM if you just break down the complex task into really small, clear steps for it. Kind of simulating agent behavior.
Interesting approach.
Yeah.
And for people wanting to build their own tools, like custom GPTs, there was interest there too.
Definitely. Someone asked for guidance, and the community jumped in with resources, pointing towards Hugging Face, naturally. And also lots of free learning materials, YouTube tutorials, blog posts, like from section.school.
Nice.
And the point was made that you can actually build custom GPTs right inside ChatGPT pretty easily. It's a good way to learn prompt engineering, apparently.
Yeah, practical experience. All right, speaking of practical, that make.com workflow someone shared was incredibly detailed.
Oh, that was something else. Really impressive. It was all about automating notification summaries.
Right, pulling things from everywhere. WhatsApp, email, Teams, Slack, Google Workspace.
All of it. And then summarizing it into an hourly brief. The level of detail in the workflow design was amazing. Covered the scheduler, connecting to all the sources.
Even handling 2 different WhatsApp accounts, which sounded tricky.
Yeah, that specific challenge was addressed. And it went beyond just collecting, filtering unread messages, potentially using a local Python script for fancier processing.
Like figuring out urgency or category.
Exactly. Summarizing, classifying, and then delivering that hourly digest.
It felt like a complete system.
It really did. They even thought about error handling, what happens if an API call fails, and logging everything maybe to Google Sheets or Airtable.
Great, tracking what's been processed.
And the practicalities of running it. Like using the make.com agent on a Windows machine with Task Scheduler for background execution.
Plus those optimization tips dealing with rate limits, filtering noise, testing, keeping API keys safe. Super useful.
Absolutely. And they even touched on the Windows dependency and gave rough ideas on make.com plan costs based on usage. Really comprehensive.
It's a fantastic example of, chaining tools together to solve a real problem.
Definitely.
On a slightly different note, but still tool-related, using ChatGPT for diagrams with Mermaid and Drawio.
Yeah, that was clever. using ChatGPT to generate mermaid code, which is basically text that describes a diagram,
Okay.
and then feeding that code into Drawio, which can actually render it as a visual flowchart or system diagram. Pretty neat way to visualize things quickly.
Streamlining the process.
Yeah,
Cool. What else? Oh, the voice bot request.
right. For a
Right.
laundry business, needed to handle calls in English and Spanish, and the key was a no-code platform.
Specific need? What came up?
A few suggestions. Lindy AI was one, using 11 Labs just for the realistic voice synthesis,
Okay.
and also a combination approach. Twilio for the phone call routing, connected to something like vapi.ai, which could then use 11 Labs for the voice part, shows how you can piece together solutions.
Yeah, modular approach. And the last tool thing, leaked prompts.
Ah, yes. Someone shared a GitHub link, supposedly system prompts for tools like Cursor, Lovable.
Interesting. Gives a peek behind the curtain, I guess.
For sure. Obviously approach with caution, but fascinating for the curious.
Okay, great rundown on tools. Let's switch gears now to the community itself, the AI Fellowship. Big news there was the name, right?
Yes, officially adopting the AI Fellowship. Feels good to have that settled. Gives us a real identity.
Definitely. And a logo challenge was launched too, trying to capture the core values visually.
Exactly. It's a nice step in building that community feel and presence.
And speaking of the community, it really feels like things have picked up speed since, what, March 2025 when it really got going?
Oh, absolutely. The activity level, the engagement, it's noticeably increased.
The WhatsApp group seems to be a big part of that. People mentioned how much it adds.
For sure. That real-time interaction makes a huge difference. And we've seen a steady stream of new members joining through April and into early May.
That growth is great to see. It shows people are finding value here.
Totally. And a huge part of that value is the knowledge sharing and support, isn't it?
It really is. Just seeing members jump in to help each other out, offering advice on custom GPTs like we talked about, or helping someone figure out a make.com issue, or sharing those OCR recommendations.
That peer support is gold. And people offering to connect others within their networks, especially helping out early-stage folks or entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Plus, just the constant sharing of interesting articles, papers, blog posts, event links keeps everyone in the loop. There was even an effort to connect students needing internships with AI companies.
That's brilliant. Really nurturing the next wave.
And someone even offered pro bono coaching for career transitions or dealing with burnout. That really says something about the culture here.
It really does. It shows it's more than just tech talk. There's real support.
And beyond helping each other, there seems to be momentum towards actual collaboration too, working on projects together.
Yeah, definitely seeing discussions pop up about that. How can we pool our skills, Ideas like community hackathons were floated.
Could be cool.
And we actually have a startup, Scintillink, being built within the community, focused on AI for scientific research. That's collaboration in action right there.
Wow, that's amazing. And it's not just about starting things, but supporting ongoing work too, like giving feedback.
Absolutely. People sharing feedback on presentations, discussing their experiences with tools. It creates that learning loop.
Right.
And just celebrating successes, too. Like when that member got nominated for the AI Accelerator Award, the support was huge. It's just a very positive environment.
Certainly sounds like it. Okay, so we've covered tools and the community itself. Let's look outward now at the broader AI landscape discussions. The AI natives debate caught my eye.
Ah, yes, that was a good one. Challenging that whole idea that kids growing up with tech are automatically experts or AI natives.
The analogy was like, you drive a car, but that doesn't make you a mechanic.
Exactly. Just because you use it doesn't mean you understand it deeply or can use it well. The point was we still need to teach tech skills, AI skills, and definitely online safety.
It seems like parents in the group had pretty different experiences with how their kids use AI too.
Yeah, it's not uniform at all. Comfort with the interface isn't the same as real literacy or responsible use. Still needs guidance.
Makes sense. Then there's AI in education, sparked by that Nature article. Sounds like there was some healthy skepticism.
Definitely some critical thinking applied there. People questioned the article's methods, like what was the data set, what kind of students, what prompts did they use. Lack of detail made it hard to fully accept the findings.
So the discussion wasn't just accepting it at face value.
Not at all. It moved towards, okay, AI can help teachers, right? Easing workload, making handouts, that seems positive. But the benefit for actual student learning, that felt less clear.
And the concern was
That AI might just give answers too easily. Could it actually hinder critical thinking, make students lazy instead of helping them learn to ask better questions?
a valid worry.
There were also some observations about adoption rates differing, like maybe some educators in certain regions, like India, being a bit slower to embrace it compared to places where corporate-style management is pushing it harder. Inertia in some places.
Interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay, shifting to the commercial side. Perplexity versus Google search. That came up too.
Yeah, the idea that Perplexity's direct answer style might be really appealing to users, potentially disrupting Google.
Because it's convenient.
Right. But then the question becomes, do Perplexity's research features give it a strong enough advantage, especially as other LLMs get better at search? Is it a real moat?
Good question. And didn't their new VC fund raise some eyebrows? Like maybe it signals internal innovation slowing down?
That was part of the discussion, yeah. And just generally, what does Perplexity need to really focus on to have a shot against Google? It's a huge challenge.
No kidding. Okay, just a couple more broad topics. That Sequoia Capital presentation on the $1 trillion AI opportunity.
Looking at where the value might actually end up in this whole AI economy. And the concept of agentic AI came up there too.
Agentic AI again. Seems to be a recurring theme.
It does. The idea that AI acting autonomously is where a lot of the economic potential lies.
And Microsoft's Work Trend Index. The every employee becomes an agent boss idea.
Yeah, that was shared. Generated some discussion, but also some skepticism.
About what specifically?
About the intelligence on tap idea. The reminder that AI intelligence is still limited by its training data. It's not human intuition or broad understanding.
Important distinction. And lastly, Jan LeCun's perspective.
Right, a summary of his lecture. Basically arguing we need to move beyond just LLMs towards AI that has, like world models, learns from sensory input, a different architecture.
Food for thought from a big name in the field.
Always worth listening to LeCun's take.
Wow. Okay, we really did cover a massive amount of ground there. From specific tools like Dockling and Make.com, the automation workflows, right through to these big picture debates about AI natives, education, the future of search, and the very vibrant life of the fellowship community itself.
It really shows the breadth and depth of the conversations happening. It's impressive.
So thinking about all this, for you, our listener, what really stands out? From the nitty-gritty tool tips to the philosophical debates, what's the most significant thing we talked about today for you? Are there questions still buzzing around your head?
Yeah, and maybe reflect on how you approach AI tools. Are you someone who likes to go deep on one or two? Or do you prefer to try out lots of different things superficially? How could that chain of tools idea we saw with Make.com apply to your own work or projects?
And that AI native discussion, what does it make you think about? How should we be preparing the next generation? Is it just about using the tools or something more? How do we foster that responsible literacy?
And finally, looking at the big players like Google and the challengers like Perplexity, what do you think are the key ingredients for success there? What will really determine who wins in this evolving landscape of AI-powered information? Lots to ponder.